Good morning, everybody. I hope you all have had a fantastic week and a very happy and celebratory new year. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jackie, and I have the absolute pleasure of getting to tell the kids' story here at Agape almost every single Sunday. And this Sunday is no different. It just looks like last Sunday because with the holidays and everything, lots of traveling, I'm not quite sure what my Wi-Fi situation looks like today. So, we're pre-recording so that I can make sure that you guys get to see me and listen to me talk. Because I know that's everybody's favorite part of the week. Alrighty. So, like I said, it is the new year, and a new year means a new planner. Or if you're me, you get to start filling out the rest of your planner because you got a 2-year planner. And so I went through today and I filled out all of the important things in my planner all the way up through April, right? Yeah, this is the less exciting stuff. All the way through April is how much I have planned out so far, right? And it's so important to make plans and be intentional about your plans. But there's always a challenge when it comes with plans, or when it comes to plans, right? And that challenge is we like to make plans as humans. We like to make plans for ourselves. And we think that we get to determine the path that we go based on the plans that we make. But that is not true, my friends. We like to think we can because that's a very earthly way of thinking, right? We make the plans, we follow through with the plans, and that's how it's supposed to go, right? But that is not usually the case, especially with super big plans, right? Like, for me, going to school, right? My plan was to go to this school over here, and God flipped that upside down on its head, and I ended up going to a different school, right? And that's okay. That's okay. But we have to be willing to let God take control of things, right? And that is very hard to do sometimes. And even your grown-ups, and Pastor Florin will tell you the same thing. It is hard to give up control like that. But we need to make sure that we're following what God wants us to do, and that our plans are reflecting our calling from God, right? And so, as we go into the new year and go into making new plans, right, how can we make sure that our plans are following what God called for us? And what exactly are God's plans for us, right? This is a very, very good question, and it has a very, very good answer, at least the second part does, which is, the question is, what are God's plans for us? What exactly is his purpose with his plans for us, right? And we can find the answer to that in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope." Right? So what the heck does prosper mean when he says he has plans to prosper us? He means that he has plans that are designed to benefit us, designed to help us grow and flourish into the people that he called us to be, right? And he doesn't want to cause harm. That's never God's goal. That's not God's intention. He wants us to feel loved and cared for. But when we fall outside of God's plans for us, right, we're going to feel that harm and that disappointment because we're outside of God's will for us. We're outside of his plans that he made specifically for you and me and your grown-ups and Pastor Florin, right? And all of those people around us, we all have different plans, right? And God has a very specific plan for you. Just like he has a very specific plan for me, right? And part of that plan right now is getting to talk to you guys almost every single Sunday, right? And I love doing that so much. But heaven forbid, if God called me to do something else, I have to follow that because that's what God wants for me. And that's what's going to be best for me in the long run, right? It kind of, like I said, it goes back to school. I was supposed to go to a big school for college. And I had this plan. I was going to go to this school. I was going to graduate on time. I was going to be a teacher. You know, all exciting stuff. I had this plan laid out. I could see it. And then things got flipped over and turned upside down and shaken up a little bit, right? And completely changed. And I, partway through my schooling here, had to switch schools. And now I go to a little school, but it is so much better for me, and I am thriving so much more in this school than I was at this other school, right? Because this school was God's plan for me, right? And while this school might have been part of the plan that God had for me, the long-term plan was to end up here, right? And so with big decisions like that, it's important to rely on God and say, God, am I following your will? Is this what you're calling me to do? Or is this the decision that you want me to make, the plans that I should follow in order to be, one, staying in what you called me to be doing, and two, in order to make sure that what we're doing is for our benefit? Is this the plan that I need to follow so that I can thrive, so that I can grow into who you want me to be, right? Which is very hard. Like I said, it's very hard to give up control like that. But it is very important because that's how we grow and flourish and do great and wonderful things, is by trusting God's plan, right? So we can fill out our planners and our information as much as we want to, right? We can put in all of the new dates. But if any of this, our new dates and our new plans, fall outside of what God has planned for us, then it probably is going to fall through somehow. God is always going to make sure that his plans end up happening, right? And in order for that to happen, if we aren't being intentional about the plans that we make, sometimes it feels like it hurts. It feels like it hurts a lot. But we have to remember that in the long run, this little bit of hurt is going to be so, so great and so prosperous for us that it's not even going to matter. We're going to forget about it and the hurt and the pain that we had to go through to get back to where God wants us to be, right? So that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you all have had a great new year, and I am praying for blessings and health and all of that fun stuff for everybody, because I know that normal sickness has been going around as well as COVID sickness and all of that fun stuff. I am praying for a great rest of your school year, and I think that's everything. Enjoy going back to school. I'm excited. You should be excited to go back to school. I know your teachers are excited to see you again. Have a great rest of your week, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye!